Welcome to Health Aura. This is where we sift through information to find what's genuinely useful for you, our listener. You want knowledge, you want it fast, but you don't want to get bogged down. Today, we're diving into something really vital for staying active as we age, exercise after 60. We've been digging into a YouTube video from HealthBee.
Yeah, the one called Seniors, 3 Exercises You Should Never Do and 3 You Must Do Senior Health.
That's the one.
And what's really core to this video, I think, is the idea that, as we get older, we need to be smarter, more selective about how we move. It's not about stopping, it's about exercising wisely.
Right. So our mission here is to pull out that practical wisdom, figure out which exercises might maybe unintentionally cause problems, and then really highlight the safe, effective ones.
Exactly. We want you to walk away knowing how to exercise in a way that, supports your health, keeps you independent, and honestly feeling good about staying active.
Because the video makes a strong point. A lot of online fitness advice just isn't right for older bodies. It could even lead to injury. So we'll look at 3 exercises the video flags as risky over 60. Then we'll flip to the 3 it really champions.
And by the end, you should have a really clear picture of what to maybe rethink, what to embrace, and crucially, why.
Okay, let's start with the first one the video suggests needs caution. Heavy weightlifting.
Now, the video is clear. Building muscle is good. Always good, even after 60. Strength is fundamental. But, and this is the key point from HealthBee, that line between maintaining strength and maybe pushing too hard with really heavy weights, it gets finer as we age.
Yeah, and the video explains why. Our bodies change, right? Blood vessels, they get a bit less flexible. The heart doesn't respond quite as quickly to pressure changes. And ligaments, tendons, they lose some of that elasticity. So even if you feel strong, your internal systems might be under, more strain than you realize.
Precisely. And the video lists some pretty serious potential issues. Things like sudden spikes in blood pressure, tiny tears in blood vessels, even hidden stress on the heart. And then there's the more obvious stuff. Spinal injuries, shoulder tendon tears, even falls from losing balance with heavy weights.
And it backs this up. It mentions research, I think, from the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research.
Yeah, that study found adults over 65 doing unsupervised heavy lifting had a 2.5 times higher injury risk. That's significant.
Definitely. And it also mentioned data from rehab centers. Something like 40% of older adults hospitalized for back pain or tendon tears got injured doing basically unsuitable gym routines.
Right. And the danger, as the video points out, often isn't just the weight itself. It's trying to lift like you did years ago, not accounting for those natural changes. That's how injuries happen, even in workouts that seem okay.
And the fallout isn't just physical, is it? The video talks about the psychological side.
Oh, absolutely. You get injured, maybe you were enjoying being active, feeling strong.
Yeah.
And suddenly there's fear, hesitancy. And sometimes people just stop exercising altogether. It becomes this cycle.
That makes sense. Injury leads to less activity, which leads to more decline. So what's the smarter way, according to the video? How do we keep strength without these risks?
It's about shifting focus. The video recommends lighter weights, using resistance bands, and really concentrating on a controlled pace and good form. It's not giving up on strength. It's building it gradually, safely, preserving mobility.
It really makes you think longer term, doesn't it? The video sort of asks, do you want to lift the absolute max now, or do you want to be able to carry your groceries, play with the grandkids, get out of a chair easily for years to come?
Exactly. Lighter weights seem like a smart trade-off for that future independence.
Okay, let's move to the second exercise the video flags. High-impact running.
Right. Another one where common advice might not fit everyone. The idea that more running always equals better health. The video suggests we need to look closer at high-impact running for older adults, mainly because of those age-related physical changes.
Yeah, the video talks about cartilage thinning and joints, maybe lower bone density, less elastic ligaments. So each step, especially on something hard like pavement, sends quite a jolt through the knees, hips, spine. Younger bodies might handle it, but for older adults?
It adds up. It can contribute to wear and tear. And it's not just the joints. The cardiovascular system works harder too.
How so?
Well, heart rate goes up, blood pressure increases. If someone has less flexible vessels or maybe an unknown heart condition, that extra strain could be risky.
And there's data on this too, right? The video mentioned a study.
Yes. from the Journal of Orthopedic Sports Physical Therapy. It showed runners over 65 had I think it was a 58% higher risk of knee and hip injuries compared to younger runners.
58%. Wow.
And even higher risk on concrete because there's less shock absorption.
And again, the emotional side. Getting injured running, maybe feeling palpitations, it can create fear, right?
Definitely. The video notes that fear can stop people running for good, leading to less activity overall. It turns something positive into something negative.
So what does Health Bee suggest instead of high-impact running? Safer alternatives.
The focus shifts to lower impact options that still give you great cardio and help bones, but without the jarring. Brisk walking, especially on softer ground.
Okay.
Gentle cycling, swimming, these are excellent. They get your heart rate up, improve breathing, work muscles, but they're much kinder to the joints and spine.
It's a real shift in thinking. The video implies that after 60, maybe the goal shouldn't be speed, but endurance, safety, long-term mobility.
Exactly. Sometimes slowing down the impact is the best way to keep moving longer.
Makes sense. Okay, the third exercise to approach carefully. Plyometrics.
Ah, yes, plyometrics. These are the explosive ones.
Yeah.
Box jumps, burpees, squat jumps.
Right.
And the video explains these are high risk over 60, not necessarily due to lack of strength, but because they demand really quick reflexes and stability, which, well, can decline with age.
The video mentions specific changes again. Brittle bones, less flexible joints.
Less elastic ligaments, and importantly, slower reaction times. Plyometrics involve fast jumps, quick landings.
Yeah, very dynamic.
And if timing or landing is even slightly off, the risk of injury goes up for older adults.
And the potential injury sounds serious. The video mentioned things like dislocations, fractures.
Yes, and falls, which, as we know, can be devastating. Hip fractures, head injuries, becoming bedridden.
The video cited CDC data on falls, didn't it?
Yeah.
Leading cause of serious injury and death in the 65-plus group.
It did. It's a stark statistic. And falls aren't just physically damaging. The video talks about the psychological impact, too.
Like that post-fall anxiety.
Exactly. People become afraid to move, they withdraw, avoid activities. It's a really negative cycle that speeds up decline, both physical and mental.
So if plyometrics are out, what are the safer alternatives Health Bee recommends?
Tai Chi comes up strongly. Those slow-flowing movements are brilliant for strengthening deep muscles, improving coordination, hand, foot, eye coordination, and reactivating those balance reflexes. Also, simple balance training.
Like what kind of exercises?
Really basic things. Standing on one leg for a bit, walking heel to toe, even just consciously shifting your weight side to side. They make a real difference in stability.
So the message here is after 60, it's not about explosive power displays. It's about confident, independent movement without that fear of falling.
Precisely. And that kind of stability comes from consistent, gentle, safe exercises, not necessarily high-impact jumps.
Okay, that covers the don'ts. Let's switch gears to the must-dos according to the video. First up, balance exercises.
Absolutely vital. And as the video points out, something we often don't notice declining until, well, maybe we have a near miss. Our balance sense can fade after 60.
And the consequences are huge. The video hammered home that falls are a massive issue. Serious injury, disability, even death. It mentioned that National Council on Aging report 1 in 4 seniors falling each year. That's staggering.
It is. And the video describes that domino effect. A fall might mean surgery, a cast, hospital time, but also that loss of confidence, the fear of it happening again, which leads to less activity, isolation, and just a general downward trend.
But the good news, the video says, is balance can be improved. It's trainable.
Yes. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Simple, purposeful exercises help retrain our sensory systems, sharpen our reflexes, get everything working together smoothly to keep us steady.
And the examples were really practical. Standing on one leg while brushing teeth or waiting for the kettle.
Heel-to-toe walking, Tai Chi again.
And that Stanford study it mentioned, showing a 35–40% drop in fall risk for over 70s doing balance work just 3 times a week. That's powerful.
Very powerful. And they felt more confident, too, which is just as important.
It highlights the broader picture, doesn't it? Better balance isn't just avoiding falls. It's walking further, climbing stairs, playing with grandkids, living more fully.
Exactly. And the video really emphasizes consistency over intensity for balance. Little bits done regularly.
Okay, second beneficial exercise, brisk walking.
Yeah, the video presents this as just so accessible and powerful. Cheap, easy, yet incredibly effective for health after 60.
No gym needed. Just shoes and the will to move purposefully.
Right. And the benefits list is long. Longer life, better memory, heart protection, stronger bones and joints, better mood.
It's almost hard to believe something so simple does so much.
Well, that Harvard research cited in the video is pretty convincing. A 41% lower risk of early death for over 65s walking briskly just 30 minutes a day.
Wow.
And the video tackles that idea that weakness or memory slips are just inevitable. It argues that rhythmic walking can actually combat fatigue, reluctance to move, even help cognitive function.
It breaks down how it helps too, right?
Yeah.
Efficient heart pumping, stable blood pressure, lower stroke risk.
Activating leg, hip, back muscles, maintaining bone density, getting more oxygen to the brain.
And that mood boost from dopamine and serotonin.
Exactly. And it's so practical. Walk anywhere, sidewalk, park, indoors. Just find that rhythm where your heart rate is up a bit, but you can still talk. The video suggests starting small, maybe 10 minutes a few times a day or 20, 30 minutes once. Consistency is the main thing.
And it mentioned the mental side too. Getting outside, connecting with nature, that feeling of well-being.
Yeah, the video called it something no medication can replicate. A great reminder of the power of simple movement.
Okay, finally, the third beneficial exercise. Light strength training.
This is so important for fighting sarcopenia, that age-related muscle loss the video talks about, the kind that makes walking, standing, carrying things harder.
But the message is positive.
Yeah.
You don't just have to accept muscle loss, and you don't need to become a bodybuilder.
Not at all. The video recommends regular light strength work, light dumbbells, resistance bands, even just body weight.
And the examples were accessible. Sit to stands, modified push-ups.
Arm raises with light weights, gentle resistance band pulls, simple stuff targeting legs, back, arms, core, all crucial for balance and stability.
And there's research backing this too.
Yeah, the video mentioned the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity. Resistance training 2-3 times a week improves bone density, maintains muscle, reduces fall risk, even helps memory in older adults.
And again, that psychological boost the video mentioned. Feeling stronger, feeling capable. I can still do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That sense of control is huge. And it stresses accessibility, no fancy gym needed, just simple tools at home.
It connects strength now with freedom later, right? Enjoying market trips, playing with grandkids.
It all comes back to consistency over sheer intensity or speed. Build and maintain safely.
So, wrapping it all up, the big takeaway from the Health Bee video seems to be exercise smarter, not just harder, after 60.
Definitely. We've talked about why maybe heavy lifting, high-impact running, and plyometrics need a cautious approach because of potential risks to aging bodies. And then we've highlighted the power of balance work, brisk walking, and light strength training. These aren't about breaking records, they're about building that foundation for long-term health and independence.
It really paints aging not as an endpoint for activity, but as a time to be more, well, thoughtful and selective about how we move.
Yeah, every mindful movement today is like putting money in the bank for your future well-being.
So a final thought for you, our listener, maybe reflecting on your own habits. What kind of active, fulfilling life do you picture for yourself down the road? And what simple, consistent steps could you start taking, maybe even today, to help make that picture real? Perhaps share what you've heard with friends or family in their 60s or 70s too, if they're keen on staying active and healthy.